Hello and welcome to the Successful Thinking Podcast, where impossible becomes possible. It's time to claim your successful mindset and live your dreams. With your host, Master Certified Life and Success Coach, Dr. Jolene Church.
Welcome back to this week's episode of the Successful Thinking Podcast, where I provide you with strategies to break down barriers in your thinking so that you can turn what you once thought was impossible into possible. Well, hello, everyone. I am Dr. Jolene Church, your host, and I am excited for today's topic. We are going to be unveiling a wonderful power in you. But first, if you could do me a quick favor and hit the subscribe button and leave a 5-star review, not only will you always get notifications of new episodes, but your review will help other people find this podcast as well. All right, we're going to be talking about, well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever found yourself wondering where your entire day went? Feeling like you've been super busy, but you haven't really accomplished anything meaningful? Or maybe you've experienced these moments where time just seems to fly by and you're just doing something that you really enjoy and time is just gone. Well, this dichotomy in our perception and the use of time brings us to this intriguing concept, which I just absolutely love. We're going to be exploring today return on the moment, or what I like to call ROM. So it's not just about doing more in less time. It's about maximizing the value of every second that we have. And so this ROM is a play off of the ROI, return on investment, right? So return on the moment. And we can use this not just in our professional lives, but in our personal lives. So how do we make every moment count? Let's dive into this together. So time, unlike money, is a non-renewable resource, right? Once a moment passes, it is gone forever. And that's why understanding ROM is critical. Think about this for a moment. When we use phrases like, I spent my time doing whatever it is, this or that, right? So we spent our time and we're continually investing our time, but how well are we investing in this valuable resource? I know for me, I could use so many more hours in each day, and I know that this is a huge challenge for many of you. So you just don't have the time to do all of those things that you'd really like to do or even need to do. But this doesn't need to be an ongoing problem. And we're going to go through some strategies today to help you spend your time wisely, seizing each moment to optimize your life and your achievements. So there was this study, and that's what prompted this for me. I was reading this study, and it was a Chinese university. They had 480 postgrads, and this was published in the BMC Psychology Journal. And it focused on these postgrads exploring the relationship between time management disposition, life satisfaction, and mental health. So it sparked my interest. So the study offers some really compelling insights into the far-reaching impacts of time management skills on all of these different areas in our life. So let's explore a little bit of what the study went through, all of those areas of study. So when they looked at the time management disposition of postgrad students, this is how they value, monitor, and effectively use their time. The study gauged in several ways, including how participants approach scheduling their daily activities and how they perceived their efficiency in using that time. So that was one piece of the study. And then it assessed participant satisfaction with various areas of their life. And this included their friendships and family and academic achievements and overall environment. So the researchers believe that understanding overall satisfaction helps people understand how effectively managing time contributes to an overall sense of fulfillment and contentment in life. And so this led them to this crucial finding, and that was that there was a positive correlation between good time management skills and mental health. This is super great. So this means that individuals who are better at managing their time tend to have higher levels of mental well-being. So isn't that reason enough for us to stop wasting our time and frivolously spending our investment of this valuable resource? Let's look at some broader implications of this type of research and what it really means to us. So while time management is associated with, we think of this mostly in the workforce or in academia, right? So we'll think of productivity and we'll think of that in the sense of academic success, professional success. But this study underscores the impact on broader life satisfaction and mental health. So this is pretty relevant in today's fast-paced world where work-life balance is increasingly important, yet we feel drained. There just don't seem to be enough hours in the day. So good planning is essential to maintain some sort of balance. So the findings suggest that effective time management can really be a vital tool in enhancing mental well-being. And this reduces stress and anxiety related to deadlines and unstructured time. So this means that individuals can achieve a more balanced and satisfying life just by employing better time management skills. That's exciting. So the findings strongly advocate for a holistic approach to time management, viewing this not just as a skill for efficiency, but instead as a fundamental aspect of our personal development and our mental health care. So they suggested some practical applications as a result of this research. So they believe that there's truly a need for time management training. And we're not just talking about professional development, but this is for personal well-being. And this isn't something that's just needed for adults. I'm thinking there should be more formal time management early on in grade school. I'm reading this study thinking, oh my goodness, we should be teaching young children these solid life skills growing up. Just think how we could set our kids up for success. Think about yourself and how much more you would have been able to achieve had you just been given this as some sort of training early on so that you knew the skills to be great at time management. So the study results encourage individuals to be more mindful of how they allocate their time. This emphasizes the quality of time spent over quantity. So this gets back to return on the moment, ROM. Are you spending or investing in your time wisely? So effective time management is shown to be a key factor in not just achieving goals and improving productivity, but it also enhances our overall life satisfaction and mental health. This insight is crucial for individuals seeking a more balanced, fulfilling life and underscores the need for holistic time management strategies. We need to consider both in our professional and our personal aspects of our life, integrating better time management. So let's look at the value of time. We're going to have to get real on the true value of our time. How often do we say, I don't have time for that? But the truth is, it's not about having time, it's about making time. Every minute you spend is an investment in your future. So are you investing wisely? I mean, we have to get really, really honest here. Do you spend hours upon hours scrolling through someone else's life on social media? How about watching TV, playing video games? So it is time for us to really take a very honest look, a raw look at how we're spending our time so that we can come up with ways to better invest our time so that we can accomplish what we want and really feel great about our investment. Think about this. Think about a time you had buyer's remorse. How quick did that kick in? And if there was no way to get your money back, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of this is a casino. You plunk down your hard-earned cash and you lose it, or sometimes you win some and then you chase it and then you end up losing it all and you can't get it back. Okay? It's gone. That investment, that unwise investment is gone. If you're sitting there scrolling through social media, scrolling through other people's lives for hours on end, you can't get that time back. You just lost the return on your moment. That moment is gone. And as I say, this moment, in the moment, our present moment is the only place where we can impact our results for the future, because everything you see around you is a result of things that you did in a prior moment or didn't do in a prior moment, right? But if we get honest right now on how we're spending our time, we can do something about this. So let's look at some practical strategies that we can employ here. First, let's prioritize. What is truly important in your life? Now, we've talked about this. Is it important or is it a priority? If it's a priority, if it's important and a priority, it's going to go on your calendar. We are going to find the time. We are going to identify the time, and that's going to be in our next step. So is it important? Is it a priority? Are we going to add it to our calendar, and are we going to invest some time in that? We can prioritize focusing on these things. But first, we need to eliminate our time wasters, identifying what activities or habits are eating away at our time without adding any value. And you're going to do this by doing a time audit. Now, you can do some reflection. Two ways to go about this. We can look at time you've spent and analyze that, or we can look at from this moment on. So first way we can do it is to do some reflection and write out from all of your days during the last week. How many hours did you sleep each night? And then in your waking hours, from the time that you got up to the time you went to bed, estimate the time you spent throughout the day doing all of the different things you do, whether it was making meals, commuting to work, talking on the phone, watching TV, whatever it happens to be. So once you have that entire week captured, then you can start looking for where you may not be spending your time wisely. So the second way that I said is actually, I think it's the easier way, because it's really eye-opening as you do it in real time. So say starting now, you are going to look at today. You're going to take out a notepad or a journal, and you're going to do a time audit starting today. So you can record from here forward a full week of activity, and you need to have the full week, including your weekend. So Saturday and Sunday need to be included, not just your work week. So it's important to do it for a week, because even if it seems like your work week is roughly the same every day, you can start to see trends in your time and how you're using your time during, say, the work week, or maybe on the weekend you do certain things. So maybe you flop on the couch at the end of the day, right? Because like many of us say something along the lines of, man, I just need to unwind. I deserve this. I need to just kick my feet up. I just need to chill for a minute, right? But you don't just chill for a minute, and you don't just unwind for a few minutes. You don't get up except for to go to the bathroom, or maybe just to get up to go to bed. So you waste your entire evening sitting on the couch mindlessly, say watching TV or playing video games or scrolling through social media. So let's get an accurate accounting of your time. From all of this information, we can then find investment opportunities. And that's where we're going to fit in those priorities that you identified, the things that we need to put into our schedule, but we can't seem to find the time to do them. Okay, so I think it's also important for us to discuss the power of saying no, because it's okay to decline things that don't align with your priorities. And we have to get really clear on what those priorities are. So that's why I give you that first strategy, is to identify what's important to you. What haven't you been able to accomplish that you wished you had enough time to do? And that, let's look at that. Let's look at what these priorities are, because there may be some things that we have to say no to. I believe this is the greatest gift of self-love and compassion to ourselves, because we say no, right? So I have a no button on my desk, and it says no in many ways. So here it goes.
No! No, 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 no. No! 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 For the last time, no!
I love this thing. We just need to learn how to say no. And if you can't say no, get yourself a button. So let's talk about all of this, pulling this all together, because I've introduced this term ROM, return on the moment. But how do you seize the present moment, right? It sounds like all of these strategies are great. Like, I look at what's important to me, I identify where I'm spending my time, and then I identify pockets of time that I may be able to dedicate to be able to use in another way. But this all happens in very intentional thinking. So how do we seize the moment? Well, it starts with mindfulness, and that means we have to be fully present in what we're doing. But I know that's not always easy because we're continually pulled in 20 directions. We have to get incredibly intentional about this so that we can start scheduling our time in the way that we want to use our time in a wiser manner. So we're going to set specific, achievable goals every single day. And I like to do this at the end of the day. This way I can reflect on what I've accomplished. So I have a board in my office, and every day I list out my 3 wins for the day. So no matter how small. I list 3 things that I'm glad I did, maybe 3 things that I accomplished, 3 things that went well, whatever it is, they're my 3 wins for the day, right? So I need to get very specific about all of what I want to achieve, because I have lists, right? I have a lot that I'm doing all the time. And so I need to get very specific of what I want to achieve. And so often on my daily win board are those things that I listed out that I wanted to achieve because I carved out time for them. I put them in my planner every single day. I do so many cold calls for business every day. I make so many connections every day. I do my social media marketing, all of that. All of these items go on my calendar and I check them off. So I also put them on my win board because I want to celebrate those accomplishments. So remember that all of these small little steps lead to big changes. They accumulate, they aggregate, and then all of a sudden we've made huge advancements towards our goals. So as we wrap up, I want you to think about how you're spending your time. Are you getting a good return on your moments? If not, it's time to get intentional and implement these strategies. Watch how your life transforms just by doing something as simple as being conscious of your time investments and choosing to invest your time differently. Different actions, different results. So as we wrap up, I want to thank you for joining me on the Successful Thinking podcast. And I hope you have an amazing week. But most importantly, I'm wishing you success in every moment of your life because you have the power to make every second count. Now go get a return on this moment. See you next week. Namaste.